Hey everyone, today on People Now, Carrie Underwood and other country stars reacting to those deadly Tennessee tornadoes.
It's just really hard to see your community go through something like that.
Country star Hurd feeling for his community hit by the storms as he's in New York for his latest tour.
Mariska Hargitay opens up about how Law & Order SVU turned her into an advocate for rape survivors. It's a new interview in People's Women Changing the World issue.
How Lori Loughlin's bombshell claims affect the college admissions trial.
Also today,
I was on Facebook this week just making sure my family's still racist.
we are obsessed with Taylor Tomlinson's quarter-life crisis stand-up special. She's here telling us all about it.
It's all live today on People Now. Let's go.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to People Now. Great to see you. We're halfway through the week.
Yep, feeling pretty good.
We're making it. There's a lot to get to today. We have a really packed and exciting show, and it's going to be a funny show. But we start off today on a very serious note. The country music community is banding together after deadly tornadoes tore through central Tennessee Tuesday morning. According to the Washington Post, at least 25 people were killed. The Nashville Fire Department also revealed that at least 48 buildings had collapsed in Nashville alone. A somber Carrie Underwood revealed in an interview on Today that her husband and two young sons were in their Nashville home at the time. Take a listen.
And I'm like asking my husband, like, everybody's good?
How are
Is
they
everybody
doing?
we know?
Everybody all right?
Yeah, he said he had to go upstairs at like 2 a.m. and grab the boys and take them down to, we have like a little safe room in our house.
Well, I really can't imagine how scary that would be, the middle of the night. Glad to hear that her family is doing okay. And meanwhile, Dierks Bentley shared this intense video of the storm from his plane. He wrote in his Instagram caption that the plane luckily landed an hour before the storm turned into a tornado. He also revealed that his drummer lost his home, but wrote, quote, "No one comes together as a city like Nashville does." Maren Morris posted this pic on her Instagram stories, writing that the tornado must have missed her and her husband Ryan Hurd's block by an inch. We're going to talk to him about that later. He was in studio. She also wrote how she was depleted looking at the damage to the city and ended the post by saying that she's thinking of those who lost their loved ones and their homes. Meanwhile, Casey Musgraves replied to a concerned fan on Twitter, confirming that she and her family are fine, adding that Nashville's very tight-knit and promising to help in any way she can. Let's move on to this. Mariska Hargitay is revealing how her Law & Order SVU character turned her into an advocate for rape survivors. In People's Women Changing the World issue this week, she tells us, quote, "I didn't take this job on SVU to do this work, but I think I was meant to do this." Hargitay says that people even began calling her the accidental activist. Watch this.
As we spoke about these issues on TV and as survivors came to me sharing the most intimate, private, tender details of their lives, joyful heart was my response.
Hargitay began training as a rape crisis counselor and in 2004 started her own nonprofit organization, the Joyful Heart Foundation, to support survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault. In 2009, she launched an initiative to end the backlog of untested rape kits in America. She teamed up with Michigan prosecutor and rape activist Kim Worthy to take on that cause. She says, quote, "I met Kim and I said, listen to me, I'm your soldier. You tell me what you need." Right now, there are more than 225,000 untested rape kits sitting in police offices, crime labs, or other storage facilities across the United States. It's shocking to hear that.
It really is.
The Joyful Heart Foundation has also helped establish legislation supporting rape kit reform in 41 states. Hargitay tells us that, quote, "Having the character Olivia Benson listen, that was so powerful." We'll have more on People's Women Changing the World issue with People Deputy Editor Wendy Noggle. That's later on in the show. Stick around for that. Since we're so inspired by our Women Changing the World issue and all the ways that these ladies are making the world a better place in their own way, we want to know, how will you try to change the world in 2020?
Yes, will you try to give back, be kinder? Maybe your goal is to speak up for what you believe in, or are you trying to live with less this year? Vote in our People poll. Tweet us with the hashtag PeopleNow.
I think I'm trying to live with less.
Yeah, I think we all should try to do that.
Yeah, like decluttering and decluttering schedule as well. Like you want to declutter your mental
It's hard for you 'cause you're
space.
very nostalgic. So decluttering is...
I've been outed as a nostalgic guy. It's true. All right, we're going to check in on that a little bit later, and we're going to have even more from our cover story. But first, we move on to this. Take a look. On Sunday, Dwayne Wade shared a clip of him and his wife Gabrielle Union at his 12-year-old daughter Zaya's youth concert, enjoying the show as the young performers brought down the house. Everyone having a great time, dancing to the music there. Dwayne captioning the post, "Joy, a feeling of great pleasure and happiness. That's what watching Zaya sing and dance last night felt like for our family." Now, last month, of course, you may know that Union introduced the world to Zaya when the teen came out as transgender. She wrote on Twitter that Zaya is compassionate, loving, and whip smart, adding that she and Wade are so proud of her. She ended with an uplifting message to her followers saying it's okay to listen to, love, and respect your children exactly as they are. In a separate tweet, Union thanked the many people who have rallied around and supported Zaya, adding that they're humbled LGBTQ+ allies with a lot to learn. Wade previously told People that he wants the best for Zaya and for her to reach her full potential, adding, "We've got you no matter what, and we see you." Let's move on to this. According to a source, Lori Loughlin and her husband Massimo Giannulli are not upset that their court date didn't get moved after their attorney Sean Berkowitz filed a motion to have the trial postponed. Now, Berkowitz filed a motion claiming that Rick Singer, the man at the center of the college admissions scandal, was told by the FBI to lie about whether parents knew that they were paying bribes. The source tells People, quote, "Any new development that might challenge the prosecution's allegations is good for Loughlin and Giannulli." And according to criminal defense lawyer James J. Leonard Jr., who is not representing anyone in this case, he says the filing is, quote, "a defense attorney's dream and a prosecutor's nightmare." He adds, "This changes everything." Now, despite the claims, a Boston judge still denied the postponement and set the couple's court date for October 5th. Meanwhile, Loughlin and Giannulli's daughters, Olivia Jade and Bella, are getting back to the lives that they lived before the whole scandal hit. According to a Loughlin source, the two both have active lives. They hang out with friends, they go shopping, they go out for lunch and dinner. Pretty typical lives for girls in their circle. That's what the source says. The source continued to say right after the college scandal broke, both girls were very low-key. They avoided being photographed, but since Olivia is again active on social media, their lives have basically gone back to normal. All right, here's some new developments. Harvey Weinstein's ex-wife, Georgina Chapman, is moving on with a new man, and you might recognize him. Shortly after the disgraced movie mogul was found guilty of 2 felony sex crimes in New York City, news broke that Chapman was now dating actor Adrian Brody. According to a source, the pair have been together for a while, and that source adds, quote, "It diverts her attention from the pain of her situation and subsequent split." This is Chapman's first public romance since she and Weinstein reached an estimated $15 to $20 million divorce settlement. That was back in January of 2018. That was just months after the sexual assault allegations against Weinstein had surfaced. Another source says that Chapman was devastated and adds, quote, "To say Harvey disgusts her is an understatement." That source reveals that Chapman and Brody share many of the same interests, including art, photography, fashion, and music, and that Chapman finds Brody, quote, "unusual and interesting." Very happy to hear that she's moving on, that she's finding her own happiness. Andrea, you've got even more for us in Star Trek.
Yes, I do. We are kicking off Star Trek today with the royal couple's Ireland tour. Prince William and Kate Middleton spent their second day of their tour seeing some of the causes closest to their hearts. They visited a mental health charity called Jigsaw in Dublin. The charity delivers free one-on-one therapy sessions for teens and young adults. During their visit, William and Kate talked with parents, young people, and teachers and chatted about the different programs that take place in their communities. A volunteer at Jigsaw told People that William and Kate thanked the workers at the facility, telling them, quote, "We know how important this is, and we want to thank you for doing this work." A charity worker tells People that the couple have a genuine love and passion for solving the mental health challenges faced by the youth. The royal couple then visited a social justice charity and a farm to see efforts made to support sustainable farming. All right, celebrities, they're just like us. On Tuesday, Kylie Jenner shared a series of Instagram stories with her daughter Stormy at a farmer's market in LA. Kylie snapped some photos of some farmer's market food, as well as Stormy holding an amethyst tree. Amethyst happens to be Stormy's birthstone. Very beautiful there. The 2-year-old was being adorable as usual, was asking to see mom Kylie recording. She wants to know what's up. Prior to the sweet Insta videos, Kylie had to clap back at some criticism about her toes. Yep, watch her come for the haters.
Okay, so everyone wants to come from my toes. By the way, I have cute feet. And I broke this middle toe in middle school, and there's nothing you can do for a broken toe, so I just had to let it heal how it wanted to heal. So when I flex this up, when I flex it, it's all, this is a weird video. You could see it better when I'm standing. So when I flex this up, they're all normal and in place, the middle toe, focus on the middle toe. And then when I flex this up, this little guy just is out of place.
I mean, I see what she's talking about, but who notices things that minor?
Believable.
Jeremy has no words. Kylie did call out her sister Kendall's toes by sharing a close-up photo of the model's feet. We're seeing it there, writing, "I'm sorry, but what?" The two just vacation in the Bahamas together, so it's all sibling love. Look, all feet are beautiful. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, that's not true.
Not true.
Hers are. Mine aren't.
Okay. I think all feet are beautiful. Let's just move on to the next story. Frankie Muniz is opening up about his magical wedding to wife, Paige Price. Now, according to Frankie, the newlyweds planned a wedding in 10 days after initially eloping in October. The couple, who've been together for 4 years, worked with the company Wedding Bells to create an intimate haven with blooms by Form Floral at an event space in Phoenix, Arizona. Frankie and Paige broke tradition, got ready together. Frankie tells people walking out into the ceremony holding hands was just magical. After reciting heartfelt vows, Frankie's were 8 to 9 minutes long. 40 friends and family members gathered for a 5-course dinner catered by the dressing room that included steak and sea bass. For dessert, there was bee pollen panna cotta and maple bread pudding with vanilla ice cream. Yum. And despite the fact that they were technically already married, Frankie says the wedding was no less special. Now, things did get a little heated on their big day. Frankie tells us Paige decided she wanted dry florals for the decor. And we also had candles lining the walkway. They looked incredible, but right as the officiant started, some of the flowers were knocked into a candle and literally 10-foot flames.
Whoa.
Everyone was screaming.
That would be scary.
I know. Luckily, they put it out really quickly. Then they continued, but it was definitely a memorable moment. I mean, that would be really frightening. Did you have anything happen at your wedding that was maybe a mistake?
We had like the power went out during the reception, and so the whole room just like boof went
For how
black
long?
it was like a minute or two, but it was actually fun, and everyone, you know, whatever, was dancing.
I was at a wedding where the power went out for I think about an hour, but
Oh,
everyone
really?
kind of kept it up and was dancing.
Yeah.
Had to make the most of it. Well, congrats to the happy couple, and those are your Star Tracks for today.
All right, stay with us. We are talking with country star Ryan Hurd about his new tour and his baby on the way with his wife, Maren Morris. Plus, rising comedian Taylor Tomlinson is here live with everything you need to know about her new Netflix comedy special. Stick around. All right, People en Español's Poderosa's Live 2020 conference is taking place at the James L. Knight Center in Miami, Florida, March 13th and 14th.
The event is tied to People en Español's 25 Most Powerful Women franchise and will bring together dynamic Latina businesswomen, community leaders, activists, and celebrities to propel the momentum and progress that women continue to reach for.
So this year's theme is centered around providing a clear vision for the future. Poderosa's Live will give attendees access to experts, panels, and workshops in the areas of finance, leadership, health, and entrepreneurship.
You can register for this special 2-day event at Poderosas Pro 2020 Eventbrite.com and stay tuned for conference updates via social media at People en Español and hashtag 25Poderosas.
All right, People Magazine's Women Changing the World issue is a tribute to the celebrities and everyday activists who are making a difference. We have some truly incredible women featured, and here to tell us more is People Deputy Editor Wendy Noggle. Wendy, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to talk to you.
I love that they do this, such a special issue. Why is this something that People wanted to do?
This is something we've been doing for several years, and it's just to celebrate these women who are doing astounding things. They are literally making the world better for all of us.
So one of the things here, Mariska Hargitay is on the cover. We love her. We talk about her quite a bit. She's such an amazing activist. It's actually, though, not something she initially sought out to do. She revealed to us that working on Law & Order SVU really launched her into this work. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
I think it was my interaction with survivors, coupled with the statistics of sexual assault and learning that the power, the transformational power of bearing witness, the transformational power of being believed, of being heard and listened to. And I always say now to people, never, ever, ever underestimate how you can change the course of a survivor's life.
Yeah, very well said. What is it about Mariska that makes her so special, in your opinion?
So she's done amazing work on this issue, starting her foundation, the Joyful Heart Foundation, and one of the key issues she's been working on is the rape kit backlog. There are thousands of rape kits that go untested.
In the hundreds of thousands,
yeah,
which is
which
amazing.
means there's no justice to be had for these women and everything they've been through. But she's really lobbied to end that, and 40 states have passed legislation to make sure that those backlogs get cleared.
She's doing really good work there, and anything that brings more attention to that issue is so important. Another woman featured in the special issue is Eva Longoria. We spoke with her as well. Let's take a listen.
My oldest sister has a mental disability, so she's special needs, and we kind of grew up in her world, and that meant volunteering a lot, and that meant knowing community programs, and it just, meant giving back to people we never knew, people we never met, and receiving from people we never knew and people we never met. And I always wondered, who are these people helping our family with this program or that class? And my mom would explain, they were, philanthropists. And so I knew that word very early on in my life, and that's what I wanted to be. I said, I want to be a philanthropist when I grew up.
I love her story and how she learned early on how to give back. What about her advocacy really sticks out to you?
Well, what was interesting is she wasn't really sure how she wanted to help. So she commissioned a study through the UCLA, and they found that Latinas in STEM were vastly underrepresented. So because of that data, she said, that's what I can do, that's how I can help.
Wow, another woman featured here is Simone Biles. She is such a force. We've, of course, been tracking along with all she's been through and all she's accomplished. Explain why she was an important part of this issue.
She accepts no limits. She is going to expand the limits of women in sports. She will not take no for an answer. Obviously, we think she's going to be a big winner at the Olympic Games in Tokyo. And she's been teasing a couple of moves that she may do because she already has 4 named after her, and they are the most difficult in the sport. So she's really expanding what it means to be a female gymnast.
Yeah,
the bar is set high.
Yeah, she's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Then we have Christina Cook. She's made an impact in space. Tell us about her.
Right, so she just set the record for the most number of days in space by a woman. She just landed in February. She talked to us, and it was amazing what she has done for science. In addition to just learning what happens to the human body in space, she also did many other studies like how are we going to grow food there? She had a lot of success with some mustard greens. So she's really expanding our knowledge. She also did what they call downlinks to students. So from space, she talked to more than 10,000 students, and I'm betting she probably inspired the next astronaut.
Just Skyping into school.
Just dropping in
from space.
Yeah.
So there's the high-profile people that are highlighted, but there are also everyday women, which I think is a great part of this issue. Tell us about that.
So there's a woman, Najah Bazi, and what she did is she was a nurse who helped a baby in hospice care and was so heartbroken when this baby died that she said, I can't not help families like this. She started out of the back of her van giving clothing, furniture, everything like that.
Wow.
She grew the organization so vastly, she's now helped more than 2.1 million families.
That's incredible. What do you hope is the thing that people take away after reading this issue?
I think it's just that when you see something that needs a hand, that needs to change, you can do it. Like Najah, it starts in the back of your van. It starts by helping a neighbor. You really can be one person who makes a powerful difference.
Yeah, I can start small as well. Thank you so much for joining us, Maggie.
Thank you, guys.
Good to talk
And
to you.
everyone, People's Women Changing the World issue hits newsstands everywhere on Friday.
Ryan Hurd is a rising country star who is already a force, selling out the famed Cannery Ballroom in Nashville and writing songs for big stars like Blake Shelton, Luke Bryan, and Lady Antebellum. The Michigan native now lives in Nashville with his wife, Maren Morris.
We recently sat down with Ryan and right off the bat had to ask him about the devastating tornado that hit his neighborhood. Watch this.
Tornado went through East Nashville where we live, and it's really sad. I mean, all of the places that we love and a lot of the streets that we drive and walk down are really affected by it. And it's just really hard to see your community go through something like that, especially like in the middle of the night. But I think the one really special thing about Nashville is like we've seen it before with things like the flood like a few years ago, where like it's a community that really does come together. And I'm sure that's exactly what's happening now. It's kind of hard to be away while that's going on. I know it's resilient, and it will be, people will definitely like support each other, and they already are.
And you said that Maren was home during this. How is she holding up?
Oh, we're okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing, obviously, that we are in no way we're just thinking about other people who lost their homes, and some people even more. We love Nashville, and I think we would live there even if we didn't do music, because it's just such an amazing town. And obviously, we're thinking about everybody today that has lost a home or something even worse, and so we're just really proud to be from that town and to raise our family there, and even more proud to help in any way that we can.
Yeah, we're thinking about everyone affected by those storms. Now, Ryan is currently on his Platonic tour, which kicked off in January. He's already sold out a number of venues and performed 2 nights at the Gramercy Theater. Not only does he sing his songs, he covers other artists' songs as well.
I've been covering False God by Taylor Swift in our set, which is really cool. It was really fun and scary to figure that out, because you mess up those words, people get pretty upset.
Yeah,
the
they're very.
Swifties will be coming for you.
Well, we were
Understandably.
going to talk about that because there's this video circulating, one particular, of you covering that song.
Okay, good.
And then the fans know that at some point Taylor Swift had heard that you were doing it or that you liked it or whatever. And I think her quote was she would burst into a cloud of confetti if you ever covered it. Now you're covering it. Has she heard the song yet? Your cover.
I think she knows that she is all places at all times.
Okay, yeah, I'll be present so she's
So
aware
how does
it's
it
happening.
feel to know that she's a fan?
We met her last year at Cowboy Stadium in Dallas when Marin was a special guest for Reputation tour. And it's cool. I mean, she's very sweet. She's obviously like one of the most respected songwriters that we've ever had, and obviously comes from the country music world, which is, you know, our world. So I just was kind of blown away that she knew who we were. Like, obviously, Marin had, you know, come off the success with The Middle, and that's what they were singing that night, but she knew all of my songs, and
So
just was pretty impressed with how tuned in she was.
You've said in the past Taylor would be a dream collaboration. Maybe that would be true for a lot of people, but particularly Taylor Swift, what would that look like? If you had just like the blank slate dream board, what would the sound be? What would that?
I don't know, anything she wanted.
Okay. You name it, Taylor. Let us know.
I'm in no position to
Impose anything.
exactly.
I would like to see it happen. And while Ryan is on tour, his wife, Maren Morris, is home resting up. The couple are due to have their baby sometime next month. It is crunch time, and he gave us some baby updates, including Maren's #1 craving.
I tell people we are prepared,
Like, technically.
but not ready. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
we have all the gear. I can't believe how much gear babies have. There's like 5 or 6 apparatuses. They like.
Let me tell you, it just gets worse.
There's like the one that
Yeah.
like does this, and then the one that does this, and then like there's the pack and play, but then there's the crib, but then there's the thing, and you're like, okay.
Has she been sending you out for weird cravings? What's been the...
Oh, we are setting ice cream records. That's
Oh,
for
yeah.
Sure. But I'm, you know, participating in that with her. We're going down that journey together.
Yeah, that's
Is
good.
the nursery ready?
Yes, that's the only thing that is 100% ready for this kid.
Yeah.
What's the theme
Daddy.
of the nursery?
Green?
Okay, a lot of green.
I don't know.
The color green.
It's pretty. It really is
Yeah.
gorgeous. I mean, it's like really dark in there, and like I think the way that like Marin wanted it to be was like, I want to like come in here and it says sleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when we're in here, this kid's gonna want to go to bed.
In terms of prep and things like that, do you like sing to the baby? A lot of people do that, you know. Or frantically Google like.
Aaron
what I should-
sings all day long,
Okay.
so he's always hearing her sing. You know, I like play him like Beatles records through my phone. Like
Oh, that's
stick
fun.
it on there and
Oh,
be
that's-
like, this
that's
is
cool.
Paul McCartney.
Things you should know before you get here.
You're gonna
Get used to this music.
you're gonna definitely want to know him.
I feel like you're going to be a cool dad. Do you
I
think you're
hope
going to
so.
be a chill dad? What do you think you're going to be like?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I've never done this before, but I'm really excited. And I mean, I was telling somebody when we found out it was a boy, it's like, because I got a lot of hobbies, and I got a lot of stuff I like to do, and like obviously like go on the road and play with my band and stuff too. I was like, man, I hope he likes stuff I like to do. And if he doesn't like stuff I like to do, I'll just figure out what he likes to do and go learn how to like that. So I don't really know how else to be prepared for being a dad other than just to be like, well, whatever we got to do, it'll be.
I'm here. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, Marin is giving herself 2 months off, then she's hitting the road again for her RSVP tour. Ryan will be joining her on tour as a special guest, but Ryan tells us they'll have another special someone there too.
I'm there to pretty much hold a baby from 9:30 to 11.
That's what I was gonna say. So baby boy's gonna be with you guys. I think
Oh,
that
yeah.
you've been scheduled in as a babysitter.
That's
Maybe you don't know
basically
that.
why I got booked.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I was asked and told that we will be touring together this year. So.
And you're getting a lot of advice from people, Lady Antebellum,
Oh,
said you
yeah.
should use zippers instead of buttons. Any other interesting advice that you've gotten from fellow artists?
Oh, I mean, we've like had to ask everybody like, how do you set up your tour bus? Because you have to outfit a tour bus so that it's like conducive to having an infant out there. So everybody did it a little bit differently, and hopefully the way that we set it up, I mean, it's like there's like netting and monitors and videos and white noise machines all in like this little crib bunk. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
crazy what goes into like. It's just different. Like usually your tour bus is where you like have a ton of fun. And this is
It's gonna be like quiet.
A different
Everyone
kind of
quiet.
fun.
Yeah.
different kind of fun.
Can't wait to see the pics of him just holding that baby on the
know.
bus. Tickets to Ryan Hurd's Platonic Tour are on sale now.
But I'm at a bit of a crossroads in my life, you guys, because I'm 25 and I don't want to party, I don't want to hook up, and I guess I'm not ready to get married. So what is left for me to do? Judge people, exactly. So I was on Facebook this week just making sure my family's still racist, and that's a joke, I don't have to check.
Taylor Tomlinson is hilarious in her Netflix comedy debut. I've been told I was laughing out loud and annoying people at work yesterday as I
really
watched
loud, Jeremy.
the special.
It was a lot.
It's not my fault, but the woman responsible for my annoying laughter is Taylor Tomlinson. She's here today. Thank you for being here.
Oh my gosh,
Good to talk
thank
to you.
you. What a compliment.
Yeah, right?
It
No,
It was actually a lot.
Everyone's like, you got a memo sent out about you.
Like, she's definitely not that funny. Like, no, it is. It's really funny. Maybe even more funny in a work environment where you're not supposed to laugh.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like when something funny happens in church and you're like,
I can't stop.
the
You're
best
crying.
thing. Yeah.
But congratulations on this. It is hilarious. You know, you talk about your family and especially we talk about a lot of things. When was the moment growing up that you knew you wanted to be a stand-up comedian?
Well, the way I got into it is because of my family. My dad wanted to take a stand-up comedy class when I was 16, so we took one together my junior year of high school. And yeah, it kind of just like snowballed from there, weirdly enough. I did not expect to be a stand-up.
Was your dad serious about it, or was it just kind of like, hey, for fun, daddy-daughter day? Or
Yeah,
what,
it was like a father-daughter
Yeah.
hangout. It was like, he's like, this will be cool. Like, I'm a good performer. You can write, like that kind of thing.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah, but he was never like trying to be a comedian. But he's a great, he's very charismatic and funny.
That's cool.
Yeah, and now here you are. You have this special at only 26 years old, which is incredible. What's your favorite thing about your career right now? And then what's maybe the least glamorous side of your career?
Oh gosh, I mean, this is very glamorous. People.
This moment right now.
PeopleTV now. I mean, did I do my own hair and makeup? No. That's why it looks so good. I think probably like having the special pop up, like when I open
Netflix
app, or like, because I watch all the stand-up, so that's of course the first thing that gets recommended to me as a comedy fan. Every comedy special that comes out pops up on my main feed. So to open it up and it's me is like insane. And then the least glamorous thing is just, to do all the press for it, you're waking up at like 6 in the morning, which if you're in New York, that's 3 a.m. LA time. So you're just in the middle of the night, kind of like, make me beautiful, which as a comedian, you're never doing. You're just like, you're basically going on stage in no makeup because you don't have to look that great on the road. You just have to be funny.
Well, it's so good, and then and by the way, it popped up in my Netflix homepage as well, so it's everywhere.
Yes.
In fact, that's how I was like, oh wait, I want to listen to this girl because the teaser is so funny. So you guys check it out. All right, so you land the Netflix special. It's a huge deal. Obviously, I'm sure you celebrated and went crazy. Was there a bit or something particular you were like, I've got to include this in the special, something that you were super proud of?
Ooh, I mean, the joke that I used for the trailer, the gobstopper joke, that was one that I really liked, and I think it's dirty, but it's clever and funny, and it's a reference that I really like.
Reference to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
Yes.
and it's all about like guys, like like if you say you don't want to have sex, here I am explaining your
the
joke.
hottest
Should I
thing.
explain your joke?
It's in the trailer, it's right there.
Yeah.
No, the hottest thing, it was the last guy I dated early on. There was a time I was like, well, I'm not really ready to sleep together yet, and he was just like, it's fine, and it wasn't a big deal, and I was just like,
Yeah.
that's the hottest thing that anyone could have said. It's like, take your time. I'm like, okay, I think I'm ready now. I've talked to a lot of people who are like, oh my gosh, that's so true, and I feel the exact same
The bar
way.
is so low.
Oh, the bar is so low, dating-wise now. Just be a good person.
I bet your boyfriend's glad to hear that. It's like anyone would have done.
Yeah. And the title of your special is Quarter Life Crisis. What did your quarter life crisis look like?
Oh my gosh, I mean, I got engaged and unengaged last year, like 3 months before the special came out. So that in and of itself was like, I feel like the perfect, thematically fit into the special so perfectly of like, I'm so sure about this huge life decision. And then a couple months later, like, ooh, I guess not. Okay, back to the drawing board. Like, and it happens so much more than you think it does. Like, so many people came up to me at shows after I started doing jokes about it who were like, oh, I just got divorced at 27, or I just called off my engagement of like 7 years. Like, people who had all these stories that made me feel less alone, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to include these jokes in the special.
Which is why everything resonates so much, right? Like, people relate to the truth of it, and there's pieces of it that everyone can kind of connect to. You also co-host this podcast, right?
Yes.
It's all about self-help, to some degree at least. What's the biggest piece of advice or thing that you have found that you're able to kind of use to help yourself?
Oh gosh. So Self-Help is, of course, is our podcast. I do it with two of my girlfriends. There they are, Kelsey and Delaney. And we all met doing comedy, and now we do this podcast where we review self-help books or documentaries or whatever trend there is, and we make fun of them, but a lot of times we're like, this is great.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes it's so cheesy and over the top, but like, oh, but you know what? It actually does help.
Yeah, and there's kind of something in every self-help book or what have you. Like, there's something in everything that makes you go, okay, I could try that. Like, even like The Secret, we tore The Secret apart. Like, we watched the documentary, like, we were like, this is ridiculous. But then we were also kind of like, we should maybe, let's like try it for a week and see what happens. I don't know. And I definitely, when I was waiting to hear if we got this special, I employed some of the secret tactics. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like just in case.
Yeah, it can't hurt, right? I'm like, let's visualize it happening for me.
We mentioned it before, but you're dating another comedian, Sam Morril, which I just saw him at the Comedy Cellar. He's killing it. You guys are this power couple. He posted this set of pictures of you sleeping on his Instagram saying, don't sleep on your special. So funny. Did you know he was taking all these pictures? Is this something he does?
Yeah, I mean, he put one right there. He put one of the photos that he took on a mug and had it like sent to my apartment. Yeah, no, he takes them while I'm sleeping, and then later on he'll like text them to me during the day, and I'm always like, why would you do that? But it's so funny, and as a comedian you have to like hand it to him. So he really wanted to post those, and he did run it by me beforehand, and he's like, do you hate? I won't do it if you hate it, but I think it's very funny. And I was like,
it's adorable.
I kind of love the dynamic of two comedians being together. I hung out with one of my best friends last night that she's married to a comedian. They're both comedians.
Oh, wow.
And so I just, the dynamics of that can be very funny and difficult and challenging. What's the best thing, worst thing?
oh my
about
gosh.
dating a
I mean,
comedian?
the best thing is they just get it. I mean, who else is gonna get this weird lifestyle? Like, who else can you complain to about, you know, oh, I have a tough day of press, or I have, you know, I have to wake up early for a flight, or I didn't get upgraded on Delta, or like whatever, like all these dumb things that you just, a lot of people don't think about because they're not traveling every week, like, oh, my rental car, or what, like, or running jokes past somebody, like, you know, a lot of guys I've dated who had normal jobs or whatever, like, they just don't get it, and it's not their fault. It's just like, this is a weird life to lead. And even friends of mine that I grew up with sometimes don't totally get it.
Right,
so
no one fully understands it unless you live it. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's really nice to have another person that there's like a shorthand almost. And then of course, you know, running jokes by each other.
Who made the first move? Like, did this happen at a comedy show?
You know, I don't know that anybody even made the first move. It just kind of happened. Like, we just sort of became friends, and it was very organic. Like, he had sent me some nice messages about sets I had done on television, and like never got any weird like sliding into your DMs vibe. Like, just very nice and respectful, and
it just clicked.
Just clicked.
There you
Just two people who liked each other.
All right, so it turns out since your special is full of jokes about dating and love and sex life, we decided to play a dating theme round of rapid fire questions. You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay.
The only rule is answer as fast as you can.
First
all right?
question, worst pickup line you've ever heard?
Oh my gosh. Worst pickup line I've ever heard is women after shows showing me pictures of their sons. And going, you would love him. I'm like, is he here?
Right.
I'll message him.
Yeah, all right. When's your boyfriend the hottest?
When is he the hottest?
Yeah.
Oh, when he's doing stand-up, obviously.
Oh, that's good.
Do you
Doing the
believe
work,
in
Yeah, doing the
love
work.
at first sight?
Do I believe in love at first sight? No. I believe in lust at first sight, not love at first sight.
Yeah, most embarrassing date you've ever been on?
Oh gosh. I went on a date with a musician once, which is like, you know.
Like such an artist.
It's just like gross. And no, I don't know. That was like an awkward one just because he wasn't that cool.
Yeah. What's an ideal date night?
Ooh, ideal date night. I think an ideal date night is one where it goes much longer than you think it will because you're just talking for hours and hours. You don't even have to be doing anything.
Big spoon or little spoon? I did not write these. If you're spooning, or
Jeremy
the
really
inside
wants to
spoon, like
know.
the one we must know.
Oh, little spoon for sure.
Yeah, okay,
Little
that's what
spoon's where it's at. I'm a diva. Anyone who says big spoon is like, you're Mother Teresa to me.
And most important thing for you in a relationship?
Most important thing, honesty in a relationship. This is the most important thing.
I agree. All right, thank you so
Makes
much for
sense.
stopping by. You can watch Taylor Tomlinson, Quarter Life Crisis, now streaming on Netflix. And we've been asking you how you'll try to positively impact the world this year in honor of our People, Women Changing the World issue. Let's see what you said in our poll. Looks like be kinder.
Taylor, what's your take? What are you gonna do?
You're gonna give back, be kinder, speak up, or live with less?
I think I'm gonna live with less because it looks like it needs the help.
Yep. All right, we'll be asking you a new question of the day tomorrow on People Now, so tune in for that.
Coming up tomorrow as well, we're joined live by one of our favorite couples from the mega hit Netflix series, Love is Blind. Lauren and Cameron are going to be here. We're pumped. Andrea's very pumped.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Plus, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. are sharing their sweet love story 20 years after they started dating. Thank you so much for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from this Latin American boy band. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Yo, what up, everyone? We are
Ciencio.
And this is One Last Thing.
You already know.
The last song we listened to on repeat was
Pegao.
Yeah.
Ciencio by Ciencio. It's a really good song. You should listen.
It's a dope boy band. You know, you should watch them. It's cool.
On YouTube. You're gonna like it. Really good.
Last time we were starting.
Star Trek when.
I know mine was when Ed Sheeran was in the same red carpet as us.
I'm gonna
on
say
iHeartRadio, like 2017.
I'm gonna say in the BMAs when we saw Iron Man.
Yeah, that was fresh.
I was like, oh,
Iron Man.
Yeah, remember he was like backstage?
It was Teen Choice.
Teen Choice.
Teen Choice, you're right. Yeah. I'm so sorry. And I remember in that words too, we were super close to Taylor Swift too.
Oh,
she was like there, like talking to us.
Oh yeah, she was looking at her performance.
Oh, I remember I gave Neo a hug one time. Like we just like gave each other that, and I gave him like a straight hug, like if he was like family, and I just didn't want to let go, you know.